Join Dr. Robbie Sanderegger and Pastor Leo Bigger as they stretch their faith and push the limits of possibility in an attempt to achieve the unthinkable.
We first thought about the idea of conquering the giant when I was climbing a mountain, thinking this is actually a good step-by-step journey, not just for myself in terms of understanding how I can overcome some of the greatest challenges that I face, but also how can we equip and empower other people to overcome some of the greatest giants that are facing the world. And so that's when we thought, which mountain could we climb that's so crazy, so dangerous, and therefore be an attention grabber, and that we couldn't possibly do in our own strength, that we'd have to rely on God's strength to do. And that's when we came up with the Jungfrau. And what project? Well, of course, one of the greatest giants facing the world today is the 2 million refugees scattered along the border of northern Iraq and Syria and Turkey. And this is a great crisis that the world sees as a giant and doesn't know how to conquer. And so we figure, hey, if God says that we can do all things through him who strengthens us, then let's give it a go. Whenever I sit with the refugees in refugee camps in Iraq, the willingness, the humility, the openness for a new message is most encouraging. People have been surviving war after generation, and they're sick and tired of it. They are open and they are ready for a good news message of hope. And that's encouraging to see, that people are fed up with things of the old and are looking forward with great optimism to a brighter tomorrow. That refugees or any of us who are in a desperate situation need is hope. And hope is the foundation of happiness, and it's also the greatest predictor of success in life. But people often place their hope in things outside of themselves. People say, if I could just get out of this tent in this refugee camp and be in a brick building, then I'd be happy. But whenever we place our hope in things outside of ourselves, that hope will always disappoint. But it's interesting, Scripture says that there is a hope that doesn't disappoint, but that hope is placed firmly and deeply inside our heart, and that hope is the love of God. And so that is the good news message that we can bring to refugees, that there is a hope. There are many different organizations around the world who are pioneering new projects on the front line. A little bit of research goes a long way to find out who is doing what and what is God placing on your heart, and in terms of how you can get involved. Many organizations take care of the basic ABC needs like food, clothing, and shelter. But what we want to do is ask, if we're going to pioneer a brand new future, then we also need to focus on things like psychological, emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being. So it might be higher up on the hierarchy of needs, but it's equally as important. And that's what we're focusing on by developing a brand new program called Grow. And if you want to learn more about it, you can go to conqueringthegiant.com.